Hey everyone, and welcome to the channel. Today we're exploring some of the strangest conflicts in human history. We're talking wars with bizarre origins, unexpected combatants, and outcomes that'll leave you wondering, did that really happen? These aren't your typical battlefield sagas. We're talking about wars sparked by animals, misunderstandings, and even body parts. So, buckle up, because we're about to uncover the wild, the wacky, and the downright unbelievable side of history. Let's get to it. Welcome to our channel. Today we're diving into some of history's most unusual and lesser-known conflicts. Get ready to uncover the mysteries behind these bizarre wars. Our first stop takes us to the San Juan Islands in the Pacific Northwest. In 1859, both the United States and Great Britain claimed the islands. Tensions were high, but then entered our unlikely catalyst, a pig. This was a prize-winning pig, belonging to an American settler named Lyman Cutler. One day, this pig wandered onto the property of a British farmer, Charles Griffin, and ate some of Griffin's potatoes. Understandably, Griffin was not thrilled and shot the pig. Cutler was furious, demanding compensation for his pig. Griffin refused, and what started as a simple dispute spiraled into an international standoff. The Americans and the British sent troops to the islands. For months, both sides engaged in a war of words and military posturing. Thankfully, cooler heads eventually prevailed. After more than a decade of tense negotiations, the dispute was settled peacefully in 1872, with the islands becoming part of Washington state. And as for the pig, it became a legend, a symbol of how even the smallest spark can ignite a conflict. Sometimes the most trivial events can have significant consequences. Let's move on to our next bizarre war. Let's journey to the 18th century, a time of powdered wigs and wars started over body parts. Our next bizarre conflict involves Robert Jenkins, a British sea captain. In 1731, while sailing off the coast of Cuba, Jenkins's ship was boarded by a Spanish patrol vessel. The Spanish, suspecting Jenkins of smuggling, were none too gentle in their inspection. Things escalated quickly, and the Spanish captain sliced off Jenkins's ear. The Spanish captain reportedly told Jenkins to take his severed ear back to the British king. Jenkins, outraged, sailed back to England with his tale of woe and his preserved ear. When word of the ear incident reached London, it caused public outrage. Jenkins became a national hero, and the British government used this incident to declare war on Spain in 1739. Thus began the War of Jenkins' Ear, a conflict that would engulf Europe and the Americas for nearly a decade. The war was a messy tangle of naval battles and colonial skirmishes. In the end, the War of Jenkins' Ear became part of a larger European conflict, the War of the Austrian Succession. It's a reminder that even the strangest events can have far-reaching consequences. Now, let's head to Australia for our final bizarre war. For our final bizarre war, we're heading to Australia and the infamous Emu War of 1932. Picture this, Australia, the 1930s. The Great Depression is in full swing and farmers are struggling. But they faced a new threat, a feathered foe, the emu. Emus, native to Australia, are known for their size, speed, and comical appearance. But to the farmers of Western Australia, these birds were no laughing matter. Thousands of emus, driven by drought, descended upon farmlands, gobbling up crops and wreaking havoc. Desperate for a solution, the farmers appealed to the Australian government for help. The government's answer? Send in the army. Armed with Lewis machine guns, soldiers were deployed to combat the emu invasion. Thus began the Great Emu War, a conflict that pitted man against bird. The emus proved to be surprisingly elusive and resilient enemies. They were fast, could dodge bullets, and seemed unimpressed by the might of the Australian military. The soldiers struggled to make a dent in the emu population. The war dragged on for several weeks, with the emus seemingly winning every encounter. Newspapers mocked the army's struggles, and public opinion turned against the whole endeavour. In the end, the Australian government withdrew its troops, conceding defeat to the emus. The Great Emu War was a humbling reminder that sometimes nature just can't be tamed. So there you have it. 3 of history's most bizarre wars, each a testament to the strange turns that history can take. From a pig that nearly sparked a war to an ear that ignited conflict and a flock of emus that outmaneuvered an army, these stories remind us that truth is often stranger than fiction. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed learning about these unusual conflicts, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more intriguing historical tales. See you next time.